So, Harald Oimoen, how's it going with Murder in the Front Row book?
Fantastic. The response has been absolutely incredible, and I'm really surprised that it's as popular as it's been. Response has just been amazing. Basically, the only critiques anybody's given it so far is that there's a little too much Metallica in there, somebody said. But other than that, it's pretty much incredible all the way across the board. So I couldn't be happier.
So when you look at it, and there is maybe, the people think there's too much Metallica, but when you look at Metallica in that era, there can't be too much Metallica because, considering the era.
I totally agree. Put it in a historic perspective. Whenever I see an old picture of Dave Mustaine with them, it's like, wow, a picture I haven't seen yet. And I totally agree with you.
So the people complaining, I don't know why they're complaining, because this is the classic Metallica era the people want to see, first of all.
That's true. I'm kind of working on Volume 2, slowly but surely, and I'm going to have a little bit more obscure stuff in there, some even more obscure bands than that are in this volume, and maybe some more European bands like Creator at Disneyland and some Merciful Fate and some other random photos, Celtic Frost, a bunch of stuff like that,
Some Venom also?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of Venom. They weren't so forthcoming with photo passes back then. So, but yeah, there was a couple shows that Venom did. In fact, Venom played with Slayer and Possessed in San Francisco at the Kabuki, and it was the most satanic show of all time, I thought,
Now, throughout all these years, how did you keep all these photos and stuff like that? Because it must have been something to track them down, or did you always have them?
I always pretty much had them. They were just in boxes at my house, and they were all from 35 millimeter negatives. So the only digital photos in the book, I think, are the ones of me and Brian at the back that somebody else took, but everything else is from 35 millimeter negatives. So I just basically had them in boxes, and I had them somewhat organized. And when it came time to do the scanning and stuff, we just went through tons and tons of negatives on a big 6,000 DPI scanner in San Francisco, and just took it from there. But basically, I had a box. If there was ever a fire at my house, I had a box of stuff ready to go. So that would have been the box that I grabbed, if there was ever a fire. So they're pretty accessible, but and I kept them in good shape for the most part too. So I was pretty lucky in that respect.
Incredible photos, and is there still unreleased photos, like tons of it that we've not seen?
Tons. I mean, that's I'd say maybe that's maybe 20% of what I have of my good stuff, And as I was going through the negatives with Ian, the publisher, Ian Christie, I found a bunch of stuff I didn't even realize I had that I forgot I'd even taken, A couple of shots in particular is a picture of Dave Mustaine hugging his two DC Rich guitars. There was another one that I liked that I used to print up all the time, making reprints from it and stuff, and that one was right next to that one, and I didn't even realize I'd taken it, so it's pretty interesting going back through the negatives. And then when you look at the negatives, you can't really tell who it is until you put it through the scanner. It's just a guy with long hair. So it was amazing discovering stuff like that along the way. So
one interesting picture too that you might have taken is it Ozzy Osbourne and Randy Rhoads in '81?
Yes, exactly.
Now you taken that photo?
Yeah, that was a Cal Palace. Yep. It was such a crazy concert that I took on I think 3 or 4 rolls of film, and I only got maybe 10 good photos because the crowd was so crazy at that one, total craziness.
Now, how was it, being that close to Randy Rhoads, let's say?
Oh, incredible, amazing. I mean, he's one of my favorite guitarists, and I think it's almost like a Cliff thing, His legend has grown even bigger since he passed away. Same with Cliff, So, but no, he was incredible. I don't think Ozzy's really touched anything since then, since the Randy Rhoads stuff. Nothing even comes close as far as I'm concerned,
Now, for Murder in the Front Row, where does this title originate from, that you've picked this out?
It's from an Exodus song. It's from Bonded by Blood. The line goes, "Murder in the front row, crowd begins to bang, and there's blood upon the stage." And it was really hard coming up with a good name for the book, because we're going to call it like Thrashers, and a couple other suggestions were Kill Posers and stuff like that, but we thought that was a little too silly. So yeah, we spent a lot of time coming up with the right name for that. And I think that totally captures the whole vibe of the Bay Area scene. It comes from Exodus song, and Exodus is pretty much the heart of the Bay Area metal scene, you know.
Now, Harold, what's going on with D.R.I? Are you guys still playing at all?
Yeah, we just got off a bunch of U.S. dates we just did with Spike. Spike's recovering from a second bout of colon cancer, and he's going to go in for another one last surgery in about a month or so, and then after that he should be free and clear. But we're going to Indonesia and Thailand coming up at the end of the month, and we have John Minor, bass player number 6, filling in on guitar for these dates only. And then after that we'll be doing a bunch of dates with Spike again. But yeah, Spike's actually lucky to be alive. I mean, he was lucky to catch it early on, you know.
Mm.
And yeah, thank God he's okay. I thought the band, you know, the first time I heard it, I thought the band was pretty much through, you know. So every time we play, I you know, thank God that we're doing another show, you know, 'cause we're desperate to get up there in our age, you know.
So with D.R.I. also in the upcoming years, is there going to be a new album at all?
Hopefully, I haven't been on any of the records yet. The last album was with Chumley in 1995, I think. So that's what, 17 years ago.
Yeah, time's passing by.
But we're working on new stuff. Spike's got a bunch of songs. Kurt just has to get his vocals together on it. So we're thinking of putting out like maybe an EP or a live thing or something, just to put something out. But it'll probably be on Beer City Records when it comes out. So keep an eye out for it. But slowly but surely, we've got like 4 new songs that we've been working on that are like 10 years old. So hopefully we'll get it together. It makes it really tough because we're spread out all across the country.
Mm-hmm.
My drummer lives in Florida, Kurt, singer, lives in Texas, and Spike lives up in Washington. I live here in the Bay Area, so it makes it kind of hard to get together, you know. So.
Well, at least if it works, and hopefully it works.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, I think when we play live, people don't want to hear any new stuff. They just want to hear the songs that they're familiar with, you know. We'll play like a song off of Full Speed Ahead, and everyone will just kind of stand there. Then we'll play like, you know, an older song, and the place will just go apeshit. So people like to hear, you know, stuff they're familiar with. So, but no, it's been a great run. I mean, I can't believe it's been that long I've been in a band. So it's just been a total blast just touring the world. People are so into us still, you know. We have the most dedicated fans. People that come see us over and over again, which is amazing, you know. And a lot of them are bringing their kids for the first time, too, so it's the second generation showing up. It's pretty amazing.
Now, I got a question for you. Let's say when you look at concerts today versus back in the day, originality today, like you're saying, like pushing new songs to the crowds, were they more accepting of it in the late 80s, would you say, than today?
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody's a lot older now, so it's almost like a nostalgia thing. You know, they want to hear the stuff that they're familiar with, that they grew up with. And I think like bands like Testament and Death Angel and Forbidden, they're actually putting out some of the best music in their careers, I think. So they're still pretty viable, you know, like Machine Head, all those bands basically from back in the day, they're all still together and they're all doing really good. They're putting out some of the best music of their careers. And but I think it's different now because we're a little bit older, you know. That has a big thing to do with it. And a lot of our crowd is older, so they just want to hear the songs that they're familiar with, you know. Back then it wasn't so much. I mean, back then, late 80s, early 90s, metal scene was kind of hurting back then. So basically, people would be happy with anything they got, you know.
Mm. Another thing too, would you say audiences today like are getting tamer than back in the day? That's a little bit more mellow?
Yeah, a little bit. It depends. I went to a show the other night. I saw Guar and Municipal Waste and Ghoul, and it was one of the craziest shows I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it was just crazy stage diving the whole time. It was just like D.R.I. back in the day, but it just seems a little tamer to me. When we tour, we'll play a show every now and then. We seem to do really good in California, up and down the coast. Whenever we play in L.A., this especially young Hispanic people, we call them satanic Hispanics, they show up in droves. I mean, they show up just tons of them, hundreds of them on our shows on the West Coast, and we seem to be able to do no wrong with them. But Yeah, it's a pretty good cross section actually. You know, luckily a lot of the younger people are coming to see us, so that's definitely given us some longevity. You know, as far as that goes.
And Harold, with taking always photos and stuff, do you still keep on doing it today?
Yeah, not quite like I used to. It's always been more of a hobby, and I think I could have done a little bit more with it if I would have been a little more serious. But I was more concerned with having a good time back then, and now still, you know, I like to party a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of on the back burner, but I feel kind of weird at a concert if I don't take pictures, and then something amazing will happen. You know, someone will come out and jam with them. Kirk Hammett will come out and jam with Exodus, and I'll be all, damn, I don't have my camera, so I kind of have to have it with me. I feel naked without it almost, you know. So.
Just in case that time comes.
Exactly. But I'll still be snapping photos for some time to come, and hopefully I'll be able to do, you know, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, you know, because I have so much stuff that I'm still discovering, you know. Brian, not so much. He stopped taking shots kind of back. He kind of dropped out of the scene when Cliff passed away. That was kind of the final straw for him. He didn't keep taking photos. I kind of kept on throughout the whole time up until now. So, but yeah, it's just I'm pretty stoked on the book. It's like a lifelong dream for me. And luckily, Ian Christie, the publisher from Bazillion Points, he totally was on the same page as us. He kind of knew what we wanted to accomplish with this. And I want to stress it's not like a history book. It's more like a yearbook, you know, or like a time capsule. And hopefully the photos give off the vibe of what it was like back then, you know.
And I'm sure with Ian Christie's Bloody Roots, he was quite impressed with some of the pictures going in there of the bands.
Oh, yeah. Half the fun was seeing him get all excited about these photos that he had never seen either, you know. So it was really fun when we were going through the negatives and scanning them. And he's just a total metalhead to begin with, you know. But it's great because we didn't have all this corporate bullshit, you know, that we had to deal with. You know, a lot of times there's a big publisher and they want the book to look like this, and it's almost like a band. You know, the record company wants them to be commercial or whatever. But we didn't have any of that bullshit with that when we did the book. And basically, it took about 2 years to put together from start to finish. And hopefully, the next one won't take as long. You know, now that we got kind of like a blueprint for it. You know?
Mm-hmm. And now, Harold, you took a lot of photos. Did you take any video at all of these concerts sometimes?
Not really. There was a couple other people that did that. This guy named Walter Morgan. He did a lot of video. And Rob Quintana did a lot of video and stuff. But not so much video. No, not very much back then. I kind of wish I would have. But back then, I mean, we didn't have the technology where everybody had a cell phone back then, you know, and was able to take, you know, video so easily. So I kind of wish I had, though. But luckily, I took photos of pretty much every show I went to. So.
And Harold, did you happen to see the unreleased Randy Rhoads video footage that Ozzy released last year or earlier this year? Last year.
I was so excited to see it. It was kind of a letdown. It's almost like every time there's going to be like a solo or something, they show like the bass player or a close-up of Ozzy, you know.
Right.
But any footage at all of him is just priceless, I think, you know. And I thought that documentary was pretty amazing that they did, you know, when they talked to everybody. But, any footage at all. I mean, there was such little footage of him. I was just amazed by that, you know. How could there be such little footage of, you know, of Ozzy, you know? Ozzy is like, you know, huge. You'd think there would have been a lot more bootlegs and stuff out there. But that makes the little amount of footage that there is available, you know, that much more special, I think, you know.
From what we always hear, there's more footage yet to be seen. You know, I'm sure you've seen the internet results of, you know, years of people talking to fans, and there is some more footage that we've not seen yet.
Yeah, and I think so with Cliff too, actually. Like supposedly somebody has the entire videotape of Down the Green, you know, the big local show they did here.
Oh wow!
And so it's just a matter of time. I work at the Fillmore in San Francisco, and I know there's a bunch of Down the Green stuff that's earlier from the late '70s that's just finally coming out now on video. People are like, it's getting leaked out little by little, like Aerosmith and AC/DC and Ted Nugent at Down the Green in 1979. And what, that was 21, that was like 35 years ago, so it's taken that long for it to come out. So hopefully, the Cliff stuff and some more Randy Rhoads stuff will come out too,
Yeah, because Ozzy and Randy played Day on the Green as well.
That's true, exactly. All those tapes, all those shows were tapes too. So it's a matter of time, I think,
So you can actually, prove that it was filmed every show of the Day of the Green?
What's that?
Like, do you know for a fact that they were always filmed, the Day on the Greens?
Oh, yes, I know for a fact. Yes, exactly.
So that means someday we'll see Randy Rhoads. So that gives us light for the Randy Rhoads footage and the Cliff Burton stuff that's going to be on release soon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully soon, unless it's in some vault somewhere. I know Bill Graham, he's a big promoter out here that put on the big Day on the Green shows. He had a fire at his place a few years before he passed away, and some of it might have gone up in the fire, which is a horrible thought. But hopefully they'll release that stuff eventually, and because people really want to see it. Like I said, people are getting really nostalgic about the stuff they grew up with, now more than ever. So hopefully they'll put it out eventually, Keep our fingers crossed.
Well, hopefully that stuff wasn't in the fire.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, Harold, really enjoyed talking to you. Your book is very good.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And keep an eye out for Volume 2, hopefully within the next year or so. We'll be putting that out, probably with Bazillion Points again, I think, if Ian's up to the task. But, yes, I just want to thank everybody for all the support and for everybody to come out got the book out for me to sign and stuff on the road with D.R.I. And, thanks for all the support. Stay heavy and support your local metal scene, for sure.
All right, Harold, you have a great one, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Nice talking to you.